future.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. We're Dioramas of the Future. I'm Devin Taylor, and I worked as a UX researcher on this project.
And I'm Chelsea James, and I also worked as a UX researcher for this project.
At the beginning of last year, the Academy of Natural Sciences offered Westfall an opportunity they call the Museum Innovation Fund. This is a grant program that supports the innovative approaches to all forms of museum learning and engagement. The 5 faculty on this slide represent the interdisciplinary team from multiple programs that collaborated to create this idea, Dioramas of the Future, which augments museum dioramas using virtual reality. This project was approved by the museum, and Chelsea and I were approached to perform UX research to understand how we could transform the current visitor experience.
Since working with the Academy, we became well aware of the problem that they were facing. So in order to create a solution to that problem, we decided to hone in on the goals that the ANS wanted to achieve. These goals are to modernize the museum visit, to bring dioramas to life through technology, to enhance the educational learning experience that the museum provides, and to increase visitorship to the museum. We started our initial research by first conducting interviews with the faculty involved in the project. We got many differing ideas, which made it difficult for us to pinpoint exactly how we wanted to execute our designs. We also sent out surveys to get as much data as we can. Our surveys helped us get a better idea of what users wanted to see in the museum and what could be possible for our project. We also sat through project pitches from the product design classes in order to understand their ideation for the museum space. These initial processes provided us with data to reach our users' needs and wants. Based on all of our surveys, we found that 85% of participants seek interactive media exhibits when looking for a fun activity. 72% are moderately to extremely familiar with VR. 57% strongly agree that the use of technology enhances the museum visit. And 42% visit museums to stimulate creativity, escape, or recharge.
Here's a short video that takes you through the main features of our web app. Try pressing the button. Okay, here we go. Okay, sorry about that. Many of our design decisions for this project were based off of our client criteria. For example, this project idea pivoted a few times due to technology costs expending the money within our budget. The reason we ultimately chose to create a web app for the Academy opposed to a native app is due to its easy maintenance and opportunity for quick content updates. And lastly, of course, we wanted to make sure that our final deliverable reflected the goals the museum had hoped for with this project while representing the Academy culture through our content and user experience.
QR codes are a big part of this project. They'll be placed around the museum, and we're specifically focusing on placing them next to the dioramas. It is completely up to the user if they want to scan the code or not while they're at the museum. These QR codes contain information related to each diorama, providing an educational opportunity for visitors.
The web app flow starts by selecting a floor you want to explore. Once you select a floor number, you're then shown a map of that floor plan. A user can then select a hall or diorama animal that they wish to engage with in a virtual environment.
In our web app, there are 2 versions that a user can interact with, depending on where they are: a remote version and an on-location version. If you look to the left side of the screen, you can see a remote version of this experience. There are 3 unlock buttons and 2 locked buttons. This limits the user's interaction points, and they cannot fully unlock all the buttons while they are remote. The only way to unlock all the buttons, which is shown on the right side of the screen, is to visit the museum in person. Based on a user's location, the amount of interaction points change, which encourages visitorship to the museum. We also implement WebVR within the app. WebVR allows users to step inside the diorama because when you're at the museum, you only see it from one angle, and that's not that immersive. We want the virtual experience to be just as engaging as a physical diorama. So we mimic the diorama's background as well as the diorama's animal. Users can interact with the animals in WebVR to see it from every angle and understand the animal and its surroundings. Shown on the screen is a very basic prototype of how that WebVR interaction would work.
This term, we've had meetings with Allison Wright, who's a design research graduate student with a professional background in museum education. She helped us with our text content in our web app and how we deliver it to our users. Chelsea and I were also able to access the Academy Archives, which is the documentation that supports each diorama animal's specific information and history with the museum. Including content from these archives allowed us to deliver the educational experience we wanted to, yet made it specific to the ANS, which sets this experience apart from any other museum visit.
Since one of the goals of this web app is to get visitors more engaged with the dioramas, we introduced a collectible feature. A user can unlock the collectible, which is an avatar that lives in their collections page. A user unlocks this feature only once they have interacted with all the buttons and information in the diorama. Users can then interact with this animal in 3D anywhere at any time. These collectibles serve as a memory or digital souvenir that motivates users to revisit and grow their collection.
For our user testing, we performed observations at the Academy and conducted prototype tests for our museum environment flow and our remote environment flow. From the data we collected, we formed categories based on user likes, dislikes, wants, any points of confusion, and other. Analyzing the responses in these categories allowed us to create actionable insights based on user preferences. These insights were the basis of our work sessions to make sure we were able to provide our users with the best possible experience in our web app.
Delivering the most realistic experience through a mobile device is what we hope to achieve with this project. Based on all the testing that we have done, these are the major takeaways that have come from the tests. Users stated that the web app is easily accessible through the ANS website. The 3D models bring dioramas to life. The web app transforms older museum elements through technology, and our collectible feature fulfills an element of play. These points justify that users can enjoy the in-person experience along with the virtual experience. And that's all the research we've done for this project. Big thanks to all the Drexel faculty and ANS staff that have helped us with this project, and thank you all so much for listening.
Well done.